on, everybody? Well, today's video is a bit different. I've got something a little unique in my hand besides my 2011 LMG. I've got a Heresy Design Blackout 300 Blackout barrel, and this video is to discuss everything about this barrel. No, it does not come with a really cool shiny can. That's a Dead Air Nomad L in 762, just so you guys know. This whole video is going to talk about this barrel. There's some things that I think people need to know about. I think there's some expectations that some people have. I think others are naysayers. You guys know here at the channel, we kind of don't shy away from any of that, and we're going to talk about it. We're going to go over it, tell you the good, the bad, what I personally think, and from there you can make an informed decision. So this video is going to talk all about it. It's going to be a bit long, so please bear with it. All the information in there is from what I've tested, factually, as accurate as best as I can do as possible. This is not a paid for video. Hersey Design, I did reach out to them and ask them for this barrel. They were kind enough to send me one for T&E and R&D to get my input and to make this video. So they didn't pay me. This isn't anything negative, positive, anything like that. This is just a real world review from my channel and testing it. I've worked with a few other YouTubers, let them kind of test it and play with it, got some their thoughts, inputs from it, and I've been getting into the world of 300 Blackout. So this video is going to talk all about the ins and outs, everything from your 5.56 AUG going into 300 Blackout. Let's get to it. Blackout AUG, range dynamic, 220 grain. Gas setting number 1. That's mag. You guys keep asking about subsonic. There it is. We're testing out ammo today. Let's see how Hornady subs do and Hornady black. What's going on, everybody? Well, this is what everybody's been wanting to know. The full review, the tabletop, everything. So let's dig into it. You're going to see behind me, just while we're doing the whole tabletop side of it, you guys are going to see me doing a little bit of shooting, talking. You're just going to kind of see some background so you can have an understanding of just how much testing went into finding out about 300 Blackout. So I've got a bunch of different ammos behind me, the mags that we tested, I'll talk a little bit about each one of these particular ammos, what I found out, how it worked on the platform. So here we go. Well, the true unboxing. So this one showed up this way. Guys, I actually do have 2 of these barrels, just because, hey, I needed to have 2, so it goes with that one. But that's how it comes. Hersey Design. It's got a cool eye on it, and we'll get into it. So all the cool fun stuff. Let's get a box out of here. There we go. Cool. All right, this is what you'll want to know about. So this is how it shows up. It's just nice packaging. It's got a sleeve. We'll go ahead and pull the sleeve off here. Set that off to the side. I do happen to have another one. It's actually up on another section of the wall here in the office. It actually does make really nice artwork, and you can lay it out flat. You can see this side. Actually, this is the nicer side, and it lays out like so. So just in case if you want a cool piece of artwork for the office, there you go. Getting into the box. I'll go ahead and open it up here. This is a brand new barrel, so when you get into it, it shows up bubble wrapped. You will get a Heresy Design sticker, and we'll set this out to the side. You get your owner's manual. It does have some really good information, kind of talks about some care instructions, the typical health and standard stuff. It gives a few variants of different barrels and things that they're working on. They currently have a 14.5, a 16.3, 5.56 barrel. The barrel I have here in front of me, which is the 16.3 inch Blackout, and some future barrels. Let's see, a 16.3, 762 by 39 is supposedly in the works. And it's already out at the time of this video, is their 9mm complete carbine kit. So that actually comes with a new bolt carrier and a barrel. So kind of talks about it. It's a 16.1 inch, and it also talks about the full gas settings, which is really, really cool because everybody always gets gas settings confused. So nice thing is they've got a really good diagram here inside the owner's manual talking about the gas selection, what it's all set up for. Setting number 1, guys, I'm kind of reading over this because there's so much info to talk about this barrel. Setting number 1 allows the most gas to flow through. Gas setting number 2 is for heavier military used, low back pressure suppressors, and number 3 is a almost full restriction for the most back pressure that you can put through the system. So there's that. We'll set that out. You guys want to see it? Let's get to it. Barrel comes shrink wrapped, comes in a plastic bag. It is slightly oiled, so if you got white clothes on, be mindful. And after that, this is how you will get your 300 Blackout barrel, or 300 Whisper, however you want to call 300 Blackout. So there's that one. It does have a quad rail. Everybody wants to know on this barrel, is the quad rail removable? It is. You will need to remove the very bottom Picatinny rail mount from the gas block here and at the top. You will also need to remove the flash hider, and then this whole system will slide forward. You can also individually pull rails like what I've done on mine, and I'll show you here in a few minutes. But you can kind of mix and match however you want this to go, strip it, leave it, and everything is in proportion to the size of the barrel and for the front hand grip. Also, for anybody that tries to do C grips, or if you don't want to run a hand mount like what I've got, this actually sets up really well to protect your hand and to keep your hand up here for a C grip, if you choose so. So that's the barrel. It does come with a Birdcage A2 flash hider. That's on there. It looks very, very much like a standard AUG barrel. So this is my 5.56 barrel that I've taken out. It does have a 2020 LMG mount to it. That's what this bottom stud is that everybody always wants to know. But to kind of give you an idea for the barrels, except for the physical, the placement size, your hole in the back, and looking at it, You really kind of get these mixed up until you see the gas block. And I hope you guys, I really hope it comes well on the camera. The gas block on this is massive compared to a 5.56. Like, that is the fastest way to determine what barrel you have in here. And that's kind of a thing that I want to make sure everybody's fully aware of when you run one of these barrels, or even a Steyr barrel, whatever. When you start doing these caliber conversions, you must be very, very careful that you don't mix up a mag or a barrel for caliber. I don't want to see anybody load a 300 Blackout and try to chamber it or somehow get it stuck wedged into 5.56 or vice versa. So make sure you're designating mags for what caliber and what barrel system you're using. So with that said, they have a nice oversized gas regulator. The disconnect on it's really positive. You can hear that. It actually disconnects. When you first get these, they are a bit kind of stiff. They need to wear in. So nothing against Heresy, but you do need to, once you pull them back, I noticed whether my fingers are really sensitive or, I don't know, I'm a wuss. So you just got to pull back on it and kind of put some oil and break it free. So they are really stiff the first time. I said they are stiff. Guys, I'm not sugarcoating it. When they first come, they're a bit stiff on here. I have also noticed that the 300 Blackout, the powder that's used for subsonic, it doesn't burn as efficiently as 5.56. I'm trying to rotate this around because I've literally only did a test fire on this new barrel. So we get this gas plug out. Here we go. Be the issue, but that's how much bigger your gas plug is. So with that said, the 300 Blackout powder doesn't burn very efficiently. It is dirty. I've noticed on suppressor use. So make sure that you clean your barrel, clean out the gas regulator and the piston, everything once you're done shooting. If not, it'll kind of get stuck up like this a little bit. It gets tight to move, to set around. But so you guys can kind of see in here, that piston is like twice the size of a standard 5.56, and there is your actual regulator with all three positions. For everybody that's always had issues with 5.56, trying to adjust it when it's hot, make it work, I have not had a problem with this regulator about your fingers getting burned up here at the top. Sometimes it's stiff, so do make sure you get a pair of pliers, something to twist around. Don't be alarmed, it does loosen up a lot better. I'll show you on the other barrel. This one's just really, really new. So just kind of a thing, don't be alarmed if that's kind of stiff and you need a pair of pliers to kind of pull on it and twist it around until it wears in. And you start putting some rounds on the barrel. Just like a standard AUG, you do have your top side vent for your gas port. First one is your designated primary vent. Your second hole is your overflow gas. God forbid you get too much pressure buildup, it does have that safety vent. It'll vent everything out the top. The bottom one here on the bottom, again, just like a standard AUG, also has that for when it's in full number 3 setting to dump all the gas out the bottom. So that's set up. Like I said, it's a A2 flash hider. It is a 1/2 or 5/8 by 24 thread. So 30 caliber thread, just like your standard 308 rifle. It does come with a convex crush washer, which is nice. And then when you want to hook a can to it, threading super, super simple. It is American. It is right hand thread. As I get this to go on. So right hand thread works with all your standard mounts. I've primarily ran this setup with the Dead Air Nomad L. It's one of my favorite cans for 30 cal, so that was a can that I've ran most of my testing on. You guys hopefully will get to see some testing and some video where I was testing out some CAT 3D printed titanium cans and Inconel cans, and the sound on it's terrific. no big gas piston pop. They really got this thing dialed in for when you want to shoot subs. It's super hearing safe with a good 30 caliber can. So that's there. And trying to think on this, everybody else is going to want to know the twist rate. So remember, this is a 16.3 inch barrel. It is a 1 in 8 twist. The barrel is a steel barrel. It is manoxed or nitride finished. It is not a chrome line barrel that I'm aware of. I have not been able to look down it. Well, I've looked down it. I don't see that it's chrome lined. The whole thing has been nitrided. So there's that. Hopping into my actual barrel. On mine, it comes loose just like any other standard AUG. Go ahead and set back the bolt, hit the button, release it, and she slides right out. So as you can tell on this one, with my setup, I removed the top rail and the 9 o'clock rail. Ran the regular standard. The rail mount up here is free floating, so you don't have to worry about it interfering with the barrel or having harmonic issues. That's great. And just to show you guys, down here, this here is, you know, my gas set, and you can get right into it and turn it around. Again, I didn't clean this one since the last time I shot it, and if you've seen the video where I actually clean out my suppressors, you can see how gummed up and nasty this stuff gets. So this one, I should have cleaned it. Same thing I'm telling you about, just give it a wiggle and it starts working perfectly. It just, that powder does not clean out real well if you don't take care of it. So there you go. And it comes back around. The ammo that I've got behind me in testing, I'm going to go over, because I know everybody has been dying for this video to know what rounds can you shoot in supers and subsonics. So I'll throw this back up. Everybody always wants to know about my setup and difference. This is just my fun AUG. I mean, this does all types of stuff. I take it from a distance rifle, a CQB setup, to just a truck gun, everything. I'll give you guys an idea here in just a second of how this barrel looks overall. Once I kind of strip this down, I'll take off this can. And if anybody has ever personally got to see one of the Midwest Industries top rails, that's what this originally was. It has been modified to clear the gas piston and the whole regulator system over here. There is some modifications if you happen to have one of these rails, or if you think you want to try to run one. This one was also modified for the 9mm kit. But gives you an idea of what it looks like with a full handguard rail on the front. And it rocks and rolls. So there's that. Like I said, there's some powder residue material on there, some good carbon buildup. Make sure you clean this thing after you really shoot it, or don't be upset when you get a bunch of residue. So we'll get this up and then we'll start talking about some ammo. So I ran, this here is the Lancer steel magazine. Most people have seen a few of these around there. They go by another name, but they're basically like a Lancer style mag. They do have the metal insert on the back. I'm not a big fan of these mags, but they work. Okay, I'm not a fan of them because they get hung up on plate carriers. So if anybody's ever wanting to know the difference why I don't run these, I like Magpul mags. It's literally due to the zinc or the slight pot metal here in the back. It hooks on everything. I don't like it trying to pull out of mags. So, but it is a mag. It works just fine in your standard waffle. I also ran Steyr waffle 10-round mags. Absolutely no problems. The big 42 was awesome. Getting into it, here is your ASU Magpul, P-mag for an AUG. No issues whatsoever, no feeding problems. And then, just in case, These mags are going to look very, very similar to each other, and unless you are an actual AUG guru, which, I don't know, maybe you guys can look on the internet, have some fun, there is a difference between this mag and this one. So I'll let y'all kind of have the hint, leave it in the comments, tell me which one is, what's the difference? I won't tell you like which one's which. What is the difference between this 30 rounder and this 30 rounder? So, the only mag I had an issue with is a mag that is broken. One of the ears has a crack in it. It's from when I was testing the Magpul mag versus a waffle mag for durability, and I cracked an ear. I took super glue and did the super glue and a little baking soda type trick, tighten up the polymer again. It's a mag that I like to use for testing to see if I can cause problems or if it will cause. That particular mag had an issue right around like 15. It would get hung or not enough spring pressure, but I know it's a broken mag and it's, you know, I'm trying to mess with a malfunction. That is the only mag that I had an issue with on running two different variants with waffle mags. So there's that. Ammo selection. In some of this here test video, as you guys are seeing behind me, I actually went out and purchased a Garmin Zero to make sure that I got proper chronographing speeds. I've ran magneto speeds and lap radars, testing it. Both are good. The Garmin's the newest, latest thing. I'm really enjoying the Garmin. There's a video kind of out on it a little bit. But testing speeds to weight, I was curious how much more velocity this barrel created. Because, you know, 300 Blackout's designed for short barrels, and you're not really going to get a much shorter barrel in the AUG platform. Yes, I know 14.5 inch, but realistically, 16 inch is where it's at. That's what you're going to go with. So I tested ammo anywhere from 890 feet all the way up to 2,400 feet per second. I will tell you, in my experience with the Heresy barrel, the range right between 1,100 and 1,300. Right there on the guns I tested, on the ones I played with for 3 months of testing out all this ammo, that range of subsonic ammunition, regardless of weight, it didn't really like it. Speed ratio between 1,100 and 1,300 in subsonic ammunition, regardless of the weight, the system just did not like it. So I don't know if it's just the dwell time, it's something with the velocity. It was always too fast or too slow. It just didn't work in that realm. So if you're trying to hand load ammunition, my personal experience, I had a problem with that. Getting into every factory ammo that I could find, literally go to the big box store, hop on Optics Planet, buy it. Nothing that I had tested was super boutique except for a few hand rounds that were produced. With that being said, we're going to start off on ammo that absolutely this system does not like. It doesn't want to run it. Hornady Black 208 grain. I tested this. This came in right at that 1,120 25 mark. It's supposed to be 1,020 feet per second, but the 208 Hornady Black, besides this was the dirtiest ammo that I ran, like absolutely horribly dirty. It actually looked like wet mud was down inside the suppressor. You couldn't see down the barrel after 4 or 5 shots. Literally the gun would cycle somewhere between 1 and 5 shots perfect, and then it would hang up. You'd have to charge it, extract a round, and then it would start working again. So it did not like Hornady Black. Hopping into the subsonic Hornady 190 grain sub X. Absolutely does not work. It does not like 190. I shot a box and a half and never got this ever to work. There's actually all the casings are still in here. If you guys are interested, I'll post some pictures. But I mean, when I say this stuff is dirty and nasty, I mean it is just horribly blackened, and I believe that is very similar to that Hornady Black. And yes, I would shoot the gun and clean out the barrel, make sure this system was running fine. Next one on my list, I've always had really good luck with Callaway ballistics. I know through their time that they've been in business, they've had a couple different makes and models of their subsonic type ammo. I don't know if they changed powders or something. Never had a big problem with it. I've shot it in plenty of other stuff, but it just didn't really like this. This was probably the one ammo that I know that ran 1,150 feet per second, 1,175 feet per second, and it just didn't want to cycle. And it's 220 grain. I had issues. I couldn't get Callaway to run. So that's it on the subsonic. Had absolutely no problems on supers. I kind of won't talk a whole bunch about supers, except I ran a bunch of the 125 and the 200 grain. They look very similar here on the boxes. In supers, not a problem. That's what a lot of people saw videos originally on. Me showing like, oh, I keep hearing supersonic crack. No, you were hearing Callaway, you were hearing some of this stuff. When I did shoot supers, that was this stuff. I don't think it's actually here in this video. I'll pop that off. You guys have probably seen it, or you'll have seen it in the opening. I'm actually doing some like 250, 300 yard shots. That's with supers. Defiance ammunition, 200 grain subsonics, not a problem in the world. Okay, it ran perfectly. Got into Remington, 220 grain Blackout AA or 300 AAC, 220 grain. Their OBFB ammo, whatever. Remington, cheap stuff. This is supposed to be 1,015 feet per second. It ran, I believe, like right in the mid to high 900s. Perfect. No, not a problem. Ran clean. Steyr and Bellet. I picked this up. It's 200 grain full metal jackets, subsonic loads. Ate every bit of it. Not a problem. The best ammo out of all of it, the one that I really liked, the one that held really good groups, was Filoche, or Filochen, however you want to pronounce it, probably saying it wrong. Range Dynamic, 220 grain. Supposed to be 1,020 feet per second. This stuff shot right at 980 to 1,000 feet per second. Like, it just ran really, really true. Got, actually here it is right here, getting shot. This is saying 912. I think that was like the lowest ratings I had on it when I first started shooting it. And when I'm actually shooting it here in this video, it's like 6 degrees outside or so. There's a couple of these videos shows me in cold weather. I've shot this thing everything from -6 to about 40 degrees all this whole winter season. So that's it for the ammo. That's what I tested. No, I did not shoot any steel cased ammo because I never found any steel case 300 Blackout. If you got some, you want me to test it, you want me to find out, send me a box, tell me where I can get a box. I'll be more than happy to. I'm trying to think of anything else on these ammos that I ran that I had problems with. Never had problems extracting. My issues was feeding. It just does not want 190s. Like I would tell you, regardless probably if it's subs or not, like it hates 190s. I did shoot some 150 supers that were given to me. I actually got a 30 caliber ammo case that just had a mixture of leftover 300 Blackout for an afternoon, and I don't know what it was. It was literally range leftover from training days for other stuff. I've shot a ton of that stuff. Occasional one didn't want to work, something, you know, I don't know. And that was between supers and subs. Like, if you ever wanted to literally just go a blind pick, put something in a mag and just keep pulling the trigger, I didn't have any problems. Like I said, one or two might have had a dud. It might have been, I don't know, one of the Hornady Blacks. It didn't shoot it, I'd charge it, and the gun would start running perfectly again. But I can't fault that for the system. The barrel works. So when it comes to ammo selection and suppressor, I'm gonna tell you wholehearted, honest opinion about it. You're probably gonna have to play with your ammo selection. You're probably gonna have to dial it in to what you want it to do. Remember, you're asking the platform to do a whole lot on a gun that was always originally designed to be 5.56, and then now you're chunking 30 caliber. You're really trying to do subsonics. So I don't want to tell you to be disappointed if you don't get, you know, if you have to shoot like 200 or 220 grain subs, but you want to try to shoot something smaller. You're just going to have to play with it and test a couple different ammos, see what you like, get your rifle zeroed. I will tell you, with all of this ammo, at 100 yard zeros, when I would get it dialed, not a problem. You could shoot Coke cans all afternoon. You could get on and keep it, you know, respectable. When you would switch to a different ammo, you may be 2 feet off, you know, due to the spin drift, the velocity changing. So I highly recommend find yourself 1 or 2 ammos, check zero, see how it performs. I just want to think, like, going in buying 5.56, you can buy anybody's 55 grain and keep your rifle in a respectable zero. This may be a bit more temperamental when it comes to zero in your ammo selection. So there's that side of it. With that being said, the video's kind of coming to an end, y'all. I hope you enjoy the testing. I hope I've answered your questions on this barrel. I'm going to do a lot more testing. There's some more stuff coming out. I'll show how nice the gas system works once I clean, you know, that one up and get this one out tested. I'm keeping this one off for another build for something else I want to do. But I'm in fit and finish when it really comes down to it. It's a very nice barrel. Everybody that I've dealt with at Heresy these last couple months, talking to them, going back over their engineering department, I gave them some tweaks to do, just things I saw. And they're kind of the reason, just so I can get it out of the way. It's not a paid for advertisement, guys. This here was an original prototype barrel that was sent to me before full production went. So yes, I helped them tweak it, tune it just a little bit, gave them my input, told them what I thought, talked about ammo selection, and they took my input, and I assume they put it to good use. So there's that one. I don't want anybody thinking that this is a paid for advertisement for Heresy for that. It's not. It's a real world T&E review, what y'all expect from the channel. So I hope that works. I hope you enjoy it. If you want to see something better, see something more, hit me up, let me know. Tell me in the comments. Tell me what you guys want to see, what more, what did I miss that you want to know about in the barrel. I'll answer questions, talk about it. If you want one of these barrels, I know they're on Gunbroker, Arms List. How about better? Just go straight to heresy.com, go to their website, and you can just buy yourself a 300 Blackout barrel. Like, if that's what you want, go get it. Go get it direct from who they are. You'll be quite happy, I think, getting yourself a barrel. This has made me a 300 Blackout fan. Like, it's really cool. You guys know I love 30 caliber. I shoot 30 caliber out to a mile. This has become something new to play with. I don't know. Let's see how far I can take 300 Blackout. I happen to know a guy that's taken it to 1,000 yards respectably. So, I wonder what I can do. Cool. that's it. Hit me up in the comments. Let me know what you guys think, what you want me to do next. Check out from Heresy. I know they got the 9mm kit. I'll put it out there. Hey, Heresy, I need a 9mm kit. I need a 9mm AUG in my life for the channel. So if you guys want to see that, y'all want to see that 762, you want me to actually demo it and show it firsthand and what it does, please hop over on Instagram, shoot them an email, let Hersey know, Hersey Design. Tell them you guys want you want me here at TnSteyr to represent and check it out and give y'all a review. So hope you enjoy. Have a good one. Catch you on the next one. See you on the range.